Normally, we have cockpit voice recorder, which records the conversation between the pilots, and also recordings between the conversation between the pilots and the air traffic control. That's one. And the other one is a data recorder. It records data, and with that data, we're able to analyze so many things: engine performance, the flight controls. That was the one that did not survive the fire, unfortunately. These recorders are built to certain specifications. If you exceed those specifications, naturally, you should not expect them to survive. And unfortunately, that particular one, the flight data recorder, did not survive. It's a tape-based, even though it's a digital recording. You know what tape is, And,
I think it brings us to the P we now see in your own acronym. It used to be AIB, but we understand that it's now AI. Is it a P? The B.
Yes.
So that's the P there is the prevention.
Correct.
And if you don't get your findings, you really can't come up with some preventive measures in the future, isn't it?
Well, not really. As I said, we examine everything. And it is not only what has caused the crash, but we look at other things that have the potential to cause crashes. And we address them as soon as we are able to make the findings. In addition, we have just recently taken delivery of a flight data and cockpit voice recorder downloading and analyzing facility, which is flight safety laboratory, really. And it has the capability, in addition to doing some reactive things, which is after an accident happens, downloading, analyzing, it has the capability of analyzing data from healthy aircraft that is otherwise was flying aircraft. And then with that, we're able to make proactive, safety recommendations to prevent an accident from happening.
Yeah, but just as I said, if you haven't been able to get the other parts of the data recording, the materials you required, can you come up with a competent, report of findings that can actually show what actually transpired?
Oh, certainly there are other ways of doing, and we have been pursuing all avenues. It's not every aircraft that has flight recorder. And so we investigate accidents with or without flight recorder. It's only that it probably takes longer time. But there are other means that we use, other longhand method, if you can call it, and that's why sometimes they take a little bit longer time. And don't forget, like in the case of Dana, it's very uncommon to have two engines fail at the same time. So a lot of research is going into it, both from the Nigerian end and from the other participating states, which is a requirement by International Civil Aviation Organization. The state of manufacture, the state of design, which in this case is United States of America, is actively involved, as a party. And they have the right to participate. They have been participating. They have been cooperating. In fact, the readouts we did for the cockpit voice recorder was carried out in the United States. The engine disassembly, as I told you, the engine teardown, was done in the United States of America. And the components also are being done in the same facility. And as to what other means we have, yes, we have a lot of other means of doing this investigation. We have the spectrum analysis to analyze the sounds and so on to give us an idea what happened. It's still ongoing.
But now that you're AIPB,
yes,
it means that you're going to be working deeper with airlines. That's why I talked about the operational audit. You're going to ensure that accidents are prevented. So it means you take a look at all their plans to ensure safety. Is that correct?
Well, we have other means of doing it. Yes, we have to interact with the operators, the regulators, the service providers. Certainly, yes. And a lot of it will be with the operators. As I said, the Flight Safety Laboratory has the capability of analyzing data, and we are encouraging all airlines to avail themselves.
In Lagos?
It's in Abuja.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we plan to have them in different cities in the country?
No. I mean, it's not something that you have in so many places. It's just one-off. In fact, the Flight Safety Laboratory is the first complete safety laboratory we have in Africa. We took delivery just last month. It's the first one in Africa.
You know, because of this culture of actually turning out reports and people don't get to look into all of this. Remember, after the crash, the president, through the recommendation of the aviation minister, set up the technical, administrative review panel on domestic airlines. That was actually headed by Captain John Obakwalo. They have actually turned out the report. Is your commission also looking at some of the recommendations in that particular committee's report?
Well, government has looked at that report, and almost all of it has been have been implemented.
Almost all?
Almost all have been implemented.
Would you like to share some of them with us?
Well, some of the things government promised that policy will be addressed, policy issues. And as I have here with me, the National Civil Aviation Policy has just been approved by the Federal Executive Council. The Civil Aviation Act is in the process of being reviewed, and so many other things have been implemented.
In terms of monitoring, if you say all the recommendations have been, all the reports have been, almost all have been implemented, what about the area of monitoring? Do you also monitor the airlines and how they operate?
Yeah, actually that
the aviation ministry and agencies, do you monitor them as well?
Yeah, we do. Actually, it's part of the strategy for the accident prevention. We make safety recommendations with a view of preventing accidents from happening. We monitor the implementation of such. And in addition,
how do you monitor?
Well, we do visitation to ensure compliance, that those recommendations were made have been compliant, because we are making them for the purpose of improving safety and preventing accidents from happening.
So the AIPB is believed to be a small unit. Your population is not that much. So how do you visit? Do you visit one point at a time, or you spread out thin across the country?
Well, actually, we go to all the places because we make safety recommendations are targeted. So when you target it to, for example, if you target it at the regulatory agency, it's that regulatory agency that you go to see that it's been complied with.
Okay, so the recommendations you do is one agency at a time, one airline at a time.
No. It depends. If it is regulatory, it cuts across. If it is specific to the airline, then we go to the operator, the airline. And don't forget, it's not only the operator, we also have service providers in addition to the regulator and the operator.
In terms of service, because I mean, the expectation that everyone has, yes, everyone, they want standards, they want quality service. Right. Who looks at all of those, how airlines operate? Because we are inundated on a regular basis with how airlines are faltering, how people miss their flights. Who regulates all that? Is that not part of what they should focus on?
Well, a lot of it is being handled, is being addressed. The regulatory agency, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, handles safety and economic regulations for the time being. And they are doing a very good job of doing that. Come again with the question.
Because I'm saying, if you're supposed to prevent accidents, because by a new acronym AIPB, because they have to observe certain procedures with the airlines to ensure safety. So if they run short of time and they have to rush through some of those their operational audits or processes for safety prevention or accident prevention, we could have challenges.
Well, as I said, the Civil Aviation Authority is on top of it. They are actually looking at all those areas. They make the regulations, they monitor, but we also do monitor to ensure that the monitoring is being done.
Okay, now that you have taken delivery of some of this equipment, if an accident should occur, what do we expect from AIB in terms of record time response analysis and coming up with recommendations?
Well, we are striving to go in line with the provisions of International Civil Aviation Organization Annex 13. So now that we have this equipment, it will fast track and help us deliver on the mandate given to us by Nigerians.
Okay, so let me see if we could just get a question or two, because we see someone talk about sticking with international standards here. They also maintain that if AIPB properly looks at the way some of these airlines operate, some think here that some of them should have been suspended because they fall short of a lot of standards. But have you ever come across that comment before?
No, I've not had it. Well, people comment